shoes. Are we good? Okay. All right. First of all, the expectation on us is to have a clean facility, right? So if we're going to offer and have as many classes as possible, is it possible to have a clean floor and as many classes as we have back stack after stack if they come in with muddy, snowy shoes? Because we live in the Midwest, okay? Or let's say they walk through dirt all the time out in the desert and whatever. So the expectation on us is to have a clean gym that's ready for them any given second. So what's the expectation we're going to put back on them?
Clean shoes.
Clean shoes. Yep. I know it costs money, but so does cable TV. Okay, so you pick. So let your cell phone bills that are a couple $100 now. You pick. I don't want them to be obsolete because they don't have a smartphone, but you know what I'm saying. Get shoes. I know we recommend running gear. It's in Rochester. I've never been to that one, but the Waterford one. Looks like there's a Brighton one now too. Awesome for them. I didn't know that till just now. But really at the end of the day, they're looking for a basketball shoe or a cross trainer. And just because I really want to take my shoe off, this is a running shoe. And it's a broken down running shoe. This is a perfect example of what not to wear in boot camp. When you take a shoe, you do not need to be a shoe expert, guys, to tell them what's not a good shoe to wear for their foot. However, you should probably send them to a shoe expert or a foot person if they really need to know the best shoe. But the guidelines I use before they go to another planet to learn more about shoes, you could save them probably a lot of time, money, and pissed offness if you grab, all right, guys. Actually, everybody take their shoe off. Mm-hmm. I mean, it can't get any worse than the one I just took off. Everybody take their shoe off. All right, grab the heel here, okay? The base of the heel, so the exact center, the widest spot. Then grab the widest spot on the forefoot and go to twist it. If there's a lot of twist, what do you think mechanically is going? Yeah, what do you think mechanically is going to happen at the foot?
It's going to twist.
It's going to twist because there's nothing telling it to stop. Now, and some people's foot can twist all day or aka pronate and have zero symptoms, but technically they should be problematic. And then you'll have some people that barely twist at all and they have tons of problems. And there's 8 million different reasons for that. So if they're having problems with their ankles and their feet, my first suspicion would be look at their shoe they're wearing, grab it, and do this. Show them that.
So you wouldn't recommend like a generic cross trainer like this or anything?
Well, let me get to the point. So in spite of the shoe, it could be a tap dance shoe for all I care. Those are pretty stiff. But they need a shoe that does less of this. If their shoe bends up a lot with almost no resistance, that could be a problem too. So we're not experts in this. I'm not either. I know some basic tips on shoes. I've never spent a lot of time researching it. I know more about what happens in the human body from a biomechanical standpoint. But I do know that if someone's having symptoms in their knee and their ankle foot, I always want to know what kind of shoe they're wearing. All right? With that being said, the shoe is not the end-all be-all. Where people fall short and doctors fall short, like podiatrists, is I always ask, well, what's your foot strengthening routine? And almost nobody has any routine. That's why I say see plantar fasciitis routine. In the file sections, I have some exercise drills for that. Now, I have a lot more I can offer, but it's a starting template. Now, back to the shoe. The benefit of the shoe is typically, let's say you don't go to running gear and want to have somebody measure your feet and stuff like that, because most people don't, is I would go with a basketball shoe. All right, high top's going to be most stable. Most people don't want to get a high top, so get a low top or a cross trainer. And think about it. This is a running shoe. This is horrible for side-to-side movement. When do you ever run side-to-side when you're running in a marathon? Never. So when they designed these shoes for running, they didn't design it for people doing boot camps. They designed it for what? Runners training for marathons. So don't think that if you buy a running shoe, which when you go into a shoe store, what is mostly sold?
Running shoes.
Running shoes, yeah. So it's cool that you get a chance to talk to them about this because nobody's thinking that still. And we've been teaching this for 10 years now, I think. At least I have. So I would go with the I mean, once again, you could buy a cheap basketball shoe that sucks too. You know, make a mindful of that. But if you just look at it in general, I would grab the heel, grab the ball. There's a lot of give there. It may not be good. Now, if it's a running shoe, there's going to be a ton of give. You know why? They want to be light. Unless you get some special shoe that you're paying twice the amount of money for. But they want to be as cheap and as light as possible.
I've seen a couple people not wear shoes, period, in boot camp class.
They have to wear shoes.
They do.
Don't allow that.
Okay.
Thank you for
Yeah,
telling me. No one's in
yeah,
trouble,
because
but
I'm
that
like,
is one of the
no,
rules.
It's just like,
And
how can you do it with no shoes on?
And right here, does it say you have to wear shoes in boot camp? If it doesn't, I don't want to take the time out of everyone's time right now to look that up, but we're going to make sure it says must be worn.
Okay.
Okay?
So if they forget their shoes, are they just not allowed to do boot camp?
That's the only time I've let them. They have socks on, but they forget their shoes.
Here's the thing. What if someone forgets you can't bring a child up there? That's a good question. I would say, yeah, they have to wear shoes. That's a rule. Like, I wouldn't go to a place knowing the rule. Can you bend the rules for me this time? That's just not I'm not that type of person now. Most people will expect that, and I'm not judging you or hating you. Maybe I'm an idiot for not asking for the exception. But my concern is that everybody's going to start doing that. And I'm not saying that actually happens that way. But if I have little kids right now, and my little kids will do anything extra to what I say. So if I say, Savannah, I need you to take your shoes off and set them on the landing when you come in. Savannah will walk all the way to her room, throw the shoes in the hallway, and I got to freaking trip over the shit. Or, something the dog does when he goes running for stuff. So my concern is to compare an analogy or to draw a conclusion. If you let one person, other people will see that and it won't be as big of a deal. And then now you're it's like annoying, like why even have the rule? Now that's extreme. I'm being extreme here. But no, bring your shoes. The more pain you have to go through to get something, the more meaningful it is. Just like their goal. Yeah, it sucks. I got to get up early every day to go to the gym now. But man, when I do it right, I'm going to feel good about it. Gosh, I'm disciplined. I remember my shoe. I suggest put the shoes in your car that you drive so you never forget them. I had to take my kid to dance for the first time. I've never taken her to pop. And she had tap, pop, and ballet. And I had 2 of the shoes of the 3. And guess what? They wouldn't let me do it. Was the damn middle class, too. It was like, shit. So I got my kid sitting there. So I'm like, all right, get in the car. Had to go back home, lost half the class, and got her in. I didn't say, listen, can't you make an exception for me? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And expect that, Maybe I could have. But I just said, all right, well, that's the rule. And I know I'm being like about it, but give them that suggestion. Maybe we could put that. Keep shoes in car. Okay. You know what they do there now for just the dance class? They have you keep the shoes there. And I'm so glad because it made it easier for me. All right. Any questions? Basketball shoe or twisting, check that first. Ask them what's your foot strengthening routine. Send them to the page. Basketball shoe cross trainer. And put your shoes in your car because it is expected. Oh, and have shoes for it.